stop yesterday, right? So yesterday we have seen two things, right? Because there was some disconnect in middle, right? Because of network issue, I will repeat it. So there were two things we have seen yesterday. One is a string, right? One is a string data type, and second thing what we have seen is the list, right? Second thing what we have seen is the list, right? String and list, right? So just to give you, string is a collection of characters, right? It is stored in sequentially, right? So the way you give, it will stored in that order, like R first, A, then J, right? It is a sequential in a memory, right? So how do I see whether it is a string or not? I just say type of that variable. It will give a string, and string can be defined in single quote, double quote, or triple quote. Then we have seen like I want to ask, this string is stored in a memory sequentially and ordered and also indexed, right? So it will have some indexing 0, 1, 2, right? So the first character is 0, 1, 2, and reversed also it is indexed like -1, -2, -3. So how do I get single character? I can say name of 0 means first character I'll get it. If I say name of -1, I'll get last character, because the reverse indexing will start from the end, right? So if you want, this is called as an which operator? Slice operator. This is called as an slice operator. Let's take an example. I want to get a multiple character out of this string. I can use another operator called as an range slice. So range slice operator will have two things: starting index and end index. This is the starting index and this is the end index. End is excluded. End is excluded. So here 0 and 1, these two index will be come into picture. 2 is excluded. 0, 1 is nothing but a RA, right? 0 and 1, right? Next thing is I have if you don't give anything in a range slice, you give an empty, starting index as an empty, end index also as an empty, it will print entire string, right? Now one thing is to notice here in a string is that I am trying to change the first character of this string. Name of 0, it is a R, name of 0 is R. I am trying to assign that with S. Instead of Raj, I want to make it as a Saj, which is not possible. Which is not possible because string is a immutable. String is a immutable. You cannot modify once you define it. That's all. You cannot modify the content of the string or characters of the string one by one once you define it. What you can do is like you can completely change this name with Raj to Saj completely. You have to modify full, not one by one character. So that is called as an immutable, right? String is a immutable. Next thing we have seen is the list. Next thing we have seen is the list. Again, list is defined inside the square bracket, right? It is ordered, means whatever the order you are giving, like first is an ID, second is an age, third is a name. In the same order, it will be stored into a memory. Ordered, defined in a square bracket. It is ordered, and also it is indexed. Index means 0th, first, second, third, right? It is indexed. Now how do I print type of it? A type function. Type of S will give you a list, LIST, right? And if you wanted to print entire string, you say print S. And let's take an example. You want to print a first character. You have to say list of 0, S of 0. It will give you 101. If I want to get last element, S of -1. List is also reverse indexed from last, -1, -2, -3, -4, like that, right? If I want to get multiple elements, again I can use range slice. So 0 to 3, 0 is the starting index, 3 is the last index, last is excluded. So 0, 1, 2. So what is 0, 1, 2? 101, this and this, 0, 1, 2. These three elements will be printed. Again, if you keep an start index and end index empty into one list, it is going to print entire list, right? So that's all. Now one key point to note here is name of 1. I am changing. Name of 1 is this. This is the 0 name, like S of 0. Actually not name. Variable name is S. So S of 1. So this is S of 0. This is S of 1. S of 1 is earlier 21. I am trying to change it with a 22. I am assigning S of 1 to 22, which is possible in a list. Means if I print the list now, S here. S is a list name, right? Variable name given to this list. If I print this student S, then what will happen now? It will not print 21. It is going to print 22 because already we have changed this 21 with a 22. 21 with a 22. So that means list is modifiable. You can change the values of the list. Any variable, any value inside the list, anything, any data inside this list, you can change it. This, or this. Anything you can change it. So that is the reason list is called as an mutable. List is called as an mutable. Mutable means modifiable. Immutable means not modifiable. Right? So string is a immutable. String is a immutable. List is a mutable. List is a mutable. Okay? That's all guys. So any doubts here? Any doubts? So no doubt. Then I'll continue to the next. Okay? I'll continue to the next. So next one is a tuple. Next one is a tuple. This was a string, right? So this was a string. I'll just give some comments so that you will understand. So this is a string, right? And this is the list. It is a collection of different elements. Collection of different data types, right? Collection of different data types. Next one is tuple. Again same definition guys. Again same definition. Tuple is also a collection of different data type. Collection of different data type, right? Now what is the difference between all these? We'll see. Okay. So tuple T, I'll say tuple is defined inside the round bracket. Which bracket? Round bracket. Like this. Right? Now let's take an example. Same data 101, 21, same name. I'll give like and what we have given in list. Right? And again the same piece, everything is same. So tuple is a collection of different data type. It is defined inside the round bracket. The elements inside these are ordered. Whatever the order I am giving, it will be stored in that order only. ID first, age, then name, then fees. It's in that order. Order, we can say it as an order. Next point is it is indexed. Again there is an index. 0th index, first index, second index, third index. It is indexed. Collection of different data type defined inside round bracket. It is ordered. It is indexed. Just like list. Just like list. Right? What is the difference? We'll see. Now how do I say like what is the type of this? I can say print or type of T. Type of T. What it is going to print? Type of T will be tuple. Type of T will be tuple. What if I wanted to print entire T tuple? Then I said say print T. It will print all the values. What if I wanted to print first element, that is an ID, using a tuple? So then I say print T of 0. Print T of 0. What if I wanted to print last element? What if I want to print last element? Right? I can use forward index or I can use backward index. If you wanted to use forward index, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Then T of 3. T of 3. Forward index. If you wanted to use backward index, then minus 1. Then minus 1. I can say this as a minus 1. Last element. It will print last element. Let's take an example. I want to print first two element only. So then 0, 2, 0, 1, 2. 2 is excluded. Means 0 and 1 will be included. Then I have to use range slice operator. Print range slice. So T of, right? T of 0, 2. 0 to what? 2. Because I want first two elements only. Then 0 and 1 index will be included. 2 index will be ignored. So 0 and 1. It is going to print 101 and 21. Like that. If I want to print using a range slice all the elements, I can simply say T of empty. No starting index, no end index. It will give all the elements. It is which is the same as like print T. Right? It will be same as like this. Right? Now let's come back. We wanted to modify the age. Let's take an example. I wanted to modify the age. What should I do? I should say T of, what is the index of an age? T of 1. This is the 0. This is 1. So let's try to modify T of 1. T of 1 I wanted to modify with 22. T of 1 I wanted to modify with 22. Is it possible? Is it possible? Anyone can answer. Is it possible?
No, sir.
No.
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 No, sir.
No. Because tuple is immutable. Tuple is
Immutable.
immutable. You cannot modify the tuple. Exactly. Right, guys. So tuple is the immutable. You cannot modify it. You cannot modify it, right? Hence, this is not possible. This is not possible, right? Once you define the tuple with these values, that's all. You cannot modify the values inside this afterwards. You cannot modify. I cannot modify ID 101 to 102 for this key. I cannot modify name Raj to something else, right? Defined is defined. So that means this is going to throw an error because you are trying to assign the value which is already defined, and since this is immutable, it is not possible. Just like the string, you are trying to modify the content of the string, it is not possible. Similarly, here also it is not possible. So difference between list and tuple is only one. Rest of the things are same. Only one is you cannot modify the list. You can modify the list, but you cannot modify the tuple. And another difference is this is defined inside the square bracket. This is defined inside the round bracket. That's all. Right? Now, since you cannot modify it, there are a lot of lesser functionalities into one tuple. Right? Because you cannot modify it, correct? Here you can modify it. So then, see when to use list, when to use tuple. Let's take an example. If you have a requirement where you want your data to be changed, you want the details about the student must need to be changed, then you must need to use a list. But let's take an example. There is a certain data where you want a data should not be changed. Once you define is defined, should not be changed, then go ahead and use a tuple. One more thing I want to tell you guys here. In the list, I can have a duplicate value. Let's take an example. Somebody's ID is 101. Also his roll number is 101. ID is also 101. Roll number is 101. Means I am having a duplicate value into this. 101 twice. But for me, these 101 are having a different meaning. Right? One is an ID. I'm thinking this is an ID. This is as a roll number. It is possible. It is a possible inside the list. At the same time, I can have that duplicate element inside the tuple also. Why am I explaining? I'll tell you. Right? Later point of time, I'm going to explain one more data type which is not going to contain duplicate element. Now understand this. Tuple will contain the duplicate element just like the list. But only problem with the tuple is once you define, you cannot modify it. I hope you are understanding. Clear guys? Clear? Right? Now I'll run these programs later. Let's understand first all these things and then we'll run it. Okay? I hope you understood here. So this is not possible. As I said, this will give an error. But this is possible. Works fine. Because it is mutable. This is error because immutable. Understood guys? Understood? Now let's come back to the next data type. Right? So next data type is a set. We'll see all these data types in detail later point of time. But let's understand high level. So before going into a complex or in depth, let's understand overall concept about this data types or a little bit background about this data type, right? So set is another data type into a Python, right? It is another data type into a Python, right? The thing is this, it is defined set S, I'll say set S equal to, it is defined inside the curly braces. Like list is defined inside the square bracket, this is defined inside, tuple is defined inside round bracket, set is defined inside the curly braces. Now, I'll give some element inside this. Let's take an example 101. Again same element I am giving guys, 21, and I am giving Raj, right? I am giving an fees. Like this, right? Now, one thing I said to you guys in list and tuple is it is ordered, means it will be stored in same order which order you are giving it. This is not order. Set is not ordered. It is unordered. It is unordered collection. Means you don't know what position what element will be stored. Whether the ID will be first or age will be first or name will be first, we don't know. We don't know. Right? We don't know. That is the difference between list, tuple and set. Set is not ordered. Set is not ordered. Another difference between these two elements is, let's take an example. In earlier case I have given here roll number 101. I want to give roll number here 101, which is not possible in a set. In a set, duplicate elements are not possible. Duplicate elements are not possible. It will take only once. It will take only once. If you define also, how many elements are there in the set now? How many elements are there? You might say there are 5 elements, but if you print it, it will print only 4 elements. Why? Because it will not consider this 101 twice. It will consider only once. It will consider only once. That's the reason set doesn't contain the duplicate element. It will not contain duplicate element. Right? So understand the difference. List and tuple are ordered, but set is not ordered. It is unordered. It is unordered. Next, list and tuple can contain duplicate element. This duplicate element. Right? But set will not contain duplicate element. No duplicate element. You give also, it will ignore. So no point in giving. Understood guys? Difference. Understood. Now how do I print type? Again same thing guys. There is no much difference. I'll try to print it quickly. Right? Right? Control X. So how do I print type of this set? Yes, type of S. How do I print entire set? Print S. But I don't know what order it is going to print. I don't know what order it is going to print. Because it is not ordered. It is not ordered. We'll run and see that. We'll run and see this program. Okay. Now next thing I want to tell is, like, I wanted to access first element from this set. It is not possible. It is not possible because it is unordered. We don't know. It is not indexed also. It is not indexed. Means we don't know the index, whether this will go in 0th index or this will go in first index or this will go in second index. I don't know. So it is not indexed. It is not indexed. So remember, since it is not indexed, you cannot say print S of 0. Print S of 0. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. Why? Because it is not indexed. Like list and tuple are indexed. One string is indexed, but this is not indexed. So this will not work. This will not work. Right? This will not work. Print S of 0 will not work. So hence, if the print S of 0 is not work, I cannot even access multiple elements from this. Like S of 0 to 3 or 2, whatever it is. I cannot do that because it's not indexed. Now if I wanted to use this slice operator or a range slice operator, I need an index. Since this is not indexed, I cannot access the one element or multiple element from the set. Only thing I can access is all the elements. Only thing I can access is all the elements. Understood guys? Understood? I hope you understood that. Right? Set, I'm repeating again. Yes, set, yeah, exactly. So set is defined inside the curly braces. It is not ordered or unordered. It is not indexed, right? And it doesn't contain duplicate element. Now remember, list can be used. List can be used where you have a requirement that you wanted to store the element in indexed way. You wanted to modify the element. You wanted to have the duplicate. You wanted to do all this operation. Go ahead and use the list. You have a requirement where you wanted to store it in ordered way and you do not want to modify the element, but you wanted to have a duplicate element. In that case, you use tuple. But if you have a requirement where index doesn't matter, you don't need only a duplicate element. index doesn't matter, but you don't need a duplicate element, then go ahead and use set. Go ahead and use set. I'll give an example. Let's take an example. We have a days. We have a days. I want to print in all the days in a week, but I don't worry if it is printing in same order or different order. My requirement is I want to print all days. That's all. Then do you need a duplicate? Do you need a collection which will store a duplicate element? No, right? Because the days are fixed: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Fixed, right? In these 7 days, you will not see any duplicate value. In that case, I can use set. Only thing is, it may not print in a same order, but I don't care. I want to just print all the days. Order doesn't matter. In that case, I can use set. Understood, guys? But if I use a tuple for that days, it will be printed in order, but anybody can go ahead and keep duplicate element into this. So Monday can be duplicate added. If Monday is duplicate added, that is wrong, right? In a week we will have only one Monday. Understood, guys? Understood? That means set should be used accordingly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So I hope you understood the difference of all these things now, right? So let's run this, guys. Let's run this. I will run one by one. Okay? I'll run this one by one. Now we have yesterday run string and list, right? String and list. I don't think we need to run this string and list now. So anybody want me to run the list also? Anybody? Or you are okay?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. So let's run the tuple then. Let's run the program for tuple, right? So let's run it. So for now I'll comment out this, guys. Let's comment out this. We don't need this modification because it will not work. So let's run this now. Run module. You see here output. I just want to push little bit, but why it is not pushing? Okay, let me push this way. Right? You see here, we said here first type of T. Type of T is what it is showing? Tuple. Then print T. It is printing entire tuple, all the values. Even it is printing duplicate also. Because you guys know, right? Tuple contains duplicate element. Next, I am printing T of 0. What is the T of 0? 101. I am printing T of minus 1. What is T of minus 1 again? 101. Last element. Last element. Now I am printing T of 0 to 2 means 0 and 1. 0 and 1. So you are seeing here it is printing 0 and 1. Finally I am printing T of nothing to nothing means it will print entire. So it is printing entire. Understood? Now let's comment out this. Let's comment out this and run it. So sorry, remove the comment and run it. So now what I am trying to do? I am trying to modify the element from the tuple. Will it work? Let's see this. You see here, it is throwing an error. Where it is throwing? When you are assigning 22. It is saying error immutable. Sorry, this is our comment. This is our comment. It is saying tuple object does not support item assignment. Means you cannot assign the element. Once you define, is defined. You cannot change the value. Understood, guys? Understood? It is throwing the error, right? So at this line, when you are changing the value, you can't change the value because tuple is a immutable. Tuple is a immutable. Understood? Let's go ahead and run next one, next data type. What is the next data type? Set. Next is a set. Let's run this now. So fi and run. You see, it is printing all the elements. So what we printed first? We just printed type of S. What is the type of S? Set. And we printed S. It is printing all the elements. Let's try to have duplicate element. Let's try to have duplicate element. Let's see whether it will print duplicate or not. right? Tuple was printing duplicate, but let's see whether this guy will print duplicate or not. F5, run. See, is it printing duplicate element? I have given duplicate there, but is it printing it? See, I have given 101 twice here, 101, 101, but it is printing only once. And you remember, you notice here, it is not ordered, right? I have 101 here first, then age, then name, but here you see fees is coming first, and then age is coming, then ID is coming, and then name is coming. It is not ordered. It is not ordered. Understood, right? It is unordered. It is unordered.
Yes,
Right? Now let's try to modify this. I'll try to modify S of 0. There is no index, right? How I can do it? It is not possible. But let's try. Let's run this. See? It is throwing an error. When you say S of 0 equal to 102. What it is saying? Set object does not support item assignment. Wherever it is immutable, it will say like item assignment is not supported. Understood, guys? It is immutable. There is no index. How do I modify it? Right? I cannot modify it. Understood, guys? Understood? Right? Now, one thing I can do is, if I wanted to print one by one, thank you. If I want to print one by one element, I can use for. For I in yes. You guys know I can use set is a sequence. So I can use this. For I in yes and then print. For loop, right? Print I. So what it is going to do? It is going to print one by one element in vertical direction. That's all. See here, it is printing one by one element in vertical direction. I hope you understood, right? So this is all about is the set. This is all about is the set. Okay, very good. Now let's come back to the next one. Next one is a dictionary. Next one is the dictionary. If you have any doubt, I'll just pause for a minute. Any doubt? Anybody has any doubt?
no, sir.
No, right? Okay. So let's go to the next then, a dictionary. What is a dictionary? Dictionary is also a collection, but collection of key value pair. Collection of key value pair. So we are going to start on dictionary. See, all these are different, all these are data types in a Python. These are the not data type in any other programming language, only in a Python, guys. Okay? So dictionary. So dictionary is a collection of different data type. Collection of different, it is a collection of key value pair. Collection of key value pair. What is that key means? Till now we said like in a set we said like 101, 21 and then Raj, etc. But how do if I write that, I know what is 101 means. If I write this 21, I know what is this 21 means. If I this Raj, I know. If I write this 10,000, I know. But if somebody else new guy and he is reading this, will he know what is this 101 stands for? Or whether this 10,000 stands for what? Does he know what is this 21 stands for? He will not understand, right? So the Python come up with another concept called as a dictionary, where you can have a key for this. Key can be like ID equal to 101, age equal to 21. So age is a key, value is a 21. I can have key here, name, and value is a Raj. Key value. Here I can have fees as a keys and value is a 10,000. This is called as a key value pair. How do we define? So we can say here dictionary D equal to, variable name can be anything, guys. I am giving yes, D. You can use anything. This is just name given to in memory. Name given to an memory. So dictionary is defined inside the curly line, just like a set. It is defined inside the curly braces. Again, it is not ordered. It is not ordered. We don't know which order it is going to print. Okay, it's unordered. It is unordered, right? And also it is not indexed, just like set. It is not indexed. I cannot access the element using an index. Now, what is the key value? I'll have key like, and first one is ID. colon, key colon value. What is the value for ID? 101, comma. So this is one key value pair. This is one key value pair. This is one key value pair. Next key will be age. Next key will be age. And value is what? 21. Next key will be name. Next key will be name. And sorry, here I should use colon, not equal to. I should use colon, separated by colon, not semicolon, colon. Okay? Name. Here colon. Value is what? Now Raj. Key should be like you see, these are the string, right? ID is a string, so it should be in single quote. Any string has to be in single quote. Now name Raj is a string, so I must need to define inside the single quote. Now next one is what? Comma, fees, right? It is a fees. So fees, colon, value. This is how it is. How many key value pairs I have now in dictionary? 4. 1, 2, second key value pair, third key value pair, and last key value. 4 key value pairs I have. So dictionary is collection of key value pair. It is defined inside the curly braces. It is not ordered, unordered, right? It is neither indexed. Okay. Now one more thing. I cannot have duplicate key inside this. Duplicate key means I cannot have ID as a key one more time. This is a duplicate, right? I cannot have like this. But if I can have different value. If I have a different value, what will happen, you know, right? The first value will be overwritten by the second. There is no duplicate key. ID will be only once in a memory. Only thing is value will be changed. 101 will be overwritten by 102. In a memory, key is only once. ID is only once. But earlier ID was having 101. Now you replace that 101 with 102. So if I print this now, it will not print 101 ID. It will print 102. Understood? No duplicate keys. Values can be duplicate, but no duplicate keys. Understood, guys? Now, for time being, I'll remove this.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah, sure. Thank you. So for time being, I'll remove this. Now, how do I print type of this? I'll say print type of D. Type of D. So it is going to print dictionary. Dic stands for dictionary. So if I want to print all the element, I'll say print D. Right? Now, can I say print D of 0? No, because it's not index. It is not index. But I have one facility to access one by one element here. What is that? I can use the key to print it. What is the key? ID. If I say D of ID, I can get what I wanted to achieve. Like D of ID. What it will give me now? D of ID is 101. So it will give me 101. If I say D of fees, print, I'll say D of fees. Single quote, guys. Every string has to be in single quote. D of fees. What will give me? 10,000. Will give me 10,000. Understood, guys? Understood. I hope you understood this. Right?
Yes.
Now, yeah. So let's try to run this. Control A, Control C. I'm just keeping all the programs so that I can paste you guys later. I'll remove all these things. Right? Now let's run this. Fi run. You see here? So what we did here? So what we did is we printed the type of D. What is the type of D it printed? Dict. Now then we printed entire D. It printed entire D. 101, ID, age, 21, name, Raj, fees, this. Now then I printed D of ID. What is the D of ID? 101. So it printed 101. Then I printed D of fees. What is the D of fee was? D of fee is 10,000. So it printed 10,000. Okay. Now since I can access the element here, since I can access the element using a key, ID, fees, I can also modify the element. I can also modify using a keys. How do I say that? Now I'll say D of age. D of age. What is the D of age, guys? What is the D of age? 22. 21. D of age is 21. I'll give d of age to 22 now. That means earlier it was 21. I am trying to modify with a 22. It is possible. Let's see whether it is possible or not. Print it. Now again I will print d. Now we'll see whether this age is modified or not. Age is modified or not. Let's print it. F5. Run this. You see here age is changed to 22. Earlier age was how much? 21. Now it changed to 22. It is possible. In set it was not possible because I don't have anything to modify, right? Index is not there. But here I don't need index. Even though it is not index, I have a key. So using a key I can modify it. Using a key I can modify it. Right? So one more thing I wanted to show is duplicate key. It is not possible, I said, right? Let's write that and see. I'll have ID and I'll have colon here and I'll give 102. We'll see whether ID is coming once or twice. Right? Duplicate is not possible, as I said to you. So it should come only once. You see here, ID is coming only once. And what is the value of that? 102. 102. Understood, guys? Understood? Understood? ID is not now 101.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. It is not 101 now. It is 102 because ID will be only once, unique, but value will be latest. Value will be latest. So, I hope you understood all these data types. All these data types like string, list, tuple. Then we have seen what? Set, dictionary. Set, dictionary. Okay? Got it, guys? Yeah? So, I'll quickly show you again. Right? So, this is a string. Right? And this is not possible. This is a error. Because it is a immutable. Quick recap. String is a collection of characters. It is ordered, indexed, defined inside single bracket, double bracket or triple. Single quote, double quote, triple quote. You can access single element using an index. You can access multiple using an index. Operator usually is a slice and range slice. You cannot modify the elements from the string once you define because it is immutable. List, it is a collection of different data types defined inside the square bracket. It is ordered, it is indexed, and you can modify the element because it is mutable. You can access the element using an index, right? Using a slice operator, multiple element using a range slice operator, and you can modify the element. Tuple, collection of again different data types. Tuple is a collection of different data type. It is ordered. It is defined inside the round bracket. It is ordered. It is indexed. It can contain duplicate element. But only thing is it is immutable. You cannot modify the element. You cannot modify the element. Next, we have seen set. Set is again a collection of different different data type. Collection of different data type. It is defined inside the curly braces. The only thing is it is not ordered. It is unordered. It is unordered. Neither it is indexed. Neither it is indexed. Right? So that means since it is not indexed, you cannot modify the element from this. You cannot modify or you cannot access single element, or you cannot access multiple element like this from this using a slice and range slice because it is not indexed. So it is immutable. It is immutable. Next one we have seen is the dictionary. Dictionary again collection of key value pairs. Collection of key and value pairs. It is defined inside the curly braces. If it is defined inside the curly braces, right? Now it is not ordered and not indexed. There is no index here, but you can access one element, single element using a key. At the same time, you can modify the element using a key. I can say d of age. I can say d of age equal to 22, right? Then and print d. Now print d. So now this time age will be what? New value. Age will have 22. Age will have 22. And last thing, it will not contain duplicate keys. Same keys will not be there twice. It will be there only once. It will be there only once. I hope you understood. I'm going to paste all these things in your chat.
No problem, sir.
Yeah. So I'm going to paste this in your chat. And anybody has any doubt, please ask me. I'll pause for a minute. Anybody has any doubt?
No doubt.
No doubt? Anyone else?
No, sir.
No, right? So that's all about the data types, guys. That's all about the data type. In depth of this data type, we'll see. In depth of this data type, we'll see. Right? In depth in the sense is like, yeah, okay, somebody is saying range. Okay, let's talk about the range. Right? So range. You guys know, right? Range. You guys know range is, it is going to give a range of values, right? So if I say range will have starting index and end index. This is a start index, comma end index. So start is included, but end is excluded. Let's take an example. If I say now a range, I'll say starting index as a 0, end index as a 5, right? Meaning that it is going to give me the range as a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. End is excluded. So it will give me 0 to 4. Let's take an example. If I say range, right, and 0 to, or don't say anything. If I say range just 10, you guys know default value, starting value is 0, right? 0, 1, so on, it will go till the 9. Because 10 is excluded. Now one more thing is there in a range. Let's take an example. I say range, right, 0 to 10, but I am saying step as a 2. This is a step. The last parameter is a step. Step as a 2, then every single element will have a difference of 2. So the first element is 0, the next is 2, next is 4, next is 6, next is 8, next will be 10, but 10 is excluded. So 10 will not come into it. This is the step. This is called as a step. Now if I want to go backward, I can say range, right? I can say range 10 to 0 with minus 1. Step as a minus 1. So what is the meaning of this, guys? Understand. What is the meaning of this now? Right? Means you are going in backward direction. Here. So starting value is 10. Then 9. Yeah, then 9. Because you are going in backward direction with minus 1. 10, 9, 8. Like this. 2. Then 1. But 0 is excluded. Because 0 is the end value. We are not going to include it. It is excluded. End is excluded. So it will go till the 1. If somebody says range, somebody says range, right, 10 to, somebody says range 10 to 0 with minus 2, means you are going to decrease or step the value by 2. So step the value by 2. So it will be like 10, 8, then 6, then 4, then 2, and 0 is excluded. Understood, guys? Range. This is the range, right? Where do you use this range? You have seen that we have used this range in a loops and all. Like for loop, we have used this range, right? Clear, guys? Clear? So I think we are hitting our time. It is 8:50 now. So I hope you understood this. Any doubt anybody has?